Alright guys, welcome to another beer review. Take 3 because I keep getting basically bleached out of shot by the sunlight coming in. And yeah, today we're going over to Japan. I think the brewery is pretty much what it says on the label, Kirin Ichiban. But that's the beer that we're looking at, Kirin Ichiban. Um, Japan's prime beer. Beer at its purest, prime press. And yeah, this is clocking in at 5% in a 330ml bottle. And yeah, this is brewed under license at the Weihenstephan Brewery, of course, known for the wheat beers. And yeah, so it's a Japanese beer brewed over here in Germany. And I'm sure whoever, yeah, it's like that in other parts of Europe and other parts of the world as well, as opposed to being imported. I could be completely wrong, and yeah, don't worry, I have got shorts on, so you don't need to think about that. And yeah, brewed under contract for Kirin Europe, and those guys are situated in Dusseldorf, and of course Weihenstephan is in Freising. So yeah, I love this artwork on the label. It's always stood out to me. I love Asian design in general, especially when it comes to graphics and illustrations, and of course typography or calligraphy. And yeah, nice label on the neck, and there is another crown for the collection. So yeah, it's a beautifully presented beer. Picked this up from one of the local Asian supermarkets that just seems to do things from all over Asia as opposed to just concentrating on one part. You know, I think that's pretty common, isn't it? But yeah, it's a nice summer's day. Not too hot for once, although we were out in the sun today playing mini golf, which I won, by the way. And yeah, we're going to be going for a barbecue in a couple of hours or so, maybe a little less actually. And I thought, yeah, perfect time to have a nice simple Asian beer. And of course, the camera's gone absolutely dark because the lighting keeps changing outside, which is it's good because I'm not sweating my bollocks off as much. But at the same time, it's annoying when I'm trying to do beer reviews. But it's not like I can tell the weather to get into gear, is it? But yeah, and as you can tell, I can't formulate proper sentences. So beer in a glass then, and that is a lovely golden colour, straw-like in it. Well, it's actually a bit deeper than a straw colour. Slight orangey tones in there. The glass almost reminds me of one of those like door stops that are see-through, but you've got the little bubbles inside. Nice amounts of carbonation. It's going right again. I'm not restarting this video though, so you'll have to keep bearing with me touching the screen. But yeah, it's a really nicely presented lager. Or it could be a pils, I'm not too sure. About one finger's worth of a nice bubbly white head. Doesn't seem too compact, but the bubbles aren't too big either. And yeah, certainly looks the part thus far. Let's give it a little bit of a sniff. And it has that sort of like German Hellersbeer aroma to it. But I know they've used an Asian recipe. They've been specified to brew it like this. But you get that sort of like that German essence to it in terms of the ingredients. Like the water in most parts of Germany, and especially for the breweries, is I always find to be really, really nice. You get that slight mineral sort of aroma coming from it in that regard. Lovely sort of like a slightly sweet biscuity malts coming through. A little bit of honey in there as well. There's a very slight citrus character. Almost reminds of like a dried out lemon piece. Where it's not really zesty, but it's still got that citrusy aroma to it. Yeah, very light, crisp. It just smells refreshing. But yeah, it's got a very German aesthetic to it, which I'm not going to complain. But lovely sweetness as well. Anyway, let's get this one tasted. Cheers. Ooh. Now that is intriguing. Yes, indeed. Sorry, I'm just a bit stumped right now. There's a flavour in there that is familiar, but I've not had it in this style of beer for quite a while, so you'll have to bear with me. Oh, as he bangs his elbow on the table. Those malts are really, really nice in this one. Very crisp. Lovely medium mouthfeel to it. Not too light, not too heavy. Maybe a little bit over-carbonated for my tastes. Yeah, it's got this sort of like, it's as if it's been seasoned with something, but I can't put my finger on what it is. It's not like peppery, although you do get that slight pepperiness coming from the hops. Yeah, there are some really nice herbal tones in this one, actually. They just make it taste a little bit different to what you're expecting, but at the same time it's not like a really strong flavour that detracts from the beer itself. Excuse me. Yeah, if you were to give me this blind, I'd think that this was just a German Helles beer, to be honest. That mineralness comes out again. Very drinkable. And actually that hop bitterness is a little bit stronger than you would expect. But it's not overwhelming or anything like that. Yeah, that's not a bad lager, it has to be said. Pretty standard. It's got familiar traits to it. But overall, it, to me, tastes like a really high quality German Helles beer. And I'm not sure if I'm just saying that because I know that it's brewed here in Germany. But again, you get that quality you get from German brewing ingredients. I think that hot bitterness will cut through spicy food really nicely. So if you're having a takeaway or a curry or, you know, that sort of cuisine, Asian cuisine in general, it's going to perfectly accompany that. But at the same time, this is going to go well with a burger, it's going to go well with a barbecue, like a grilled chicken sandwich, you name it, you could have this beer with it. Because it's got its own flavours, and it's got its own personality. But it can accompany a lot of things. And yeah, I've had a few Asian beers over the past few days, and I've got to say that this is by far the best one that I've had. And that being said, none of the other ones that I've had have been bad beers. They've been really, really solid. But this is one that I would probably pick up again. If I was in like an Asian supermarket and I was like, oh, they've still got this beer, pick up a couple of bottles, that sort of thing. But being here in Germany, of course, I'm going to gravitate more towards the widely available German Helles beers in the supermarkets. And some people might think it's a little bit unfair me comparing this to a German Helles. But I'm getting those flavour profiles. I'm getting that style coming through. It's not just a macro, you know, shallow lager. There's actual oomph to it. And I think when you've got the brewing history and know-how of like the Weinstefan brewery, then you know that you're going to get a high quality product. And this is a very high quality Asian beer, although it's brewed in Germany. So in terms of a rating then, in what has been quite frankly a mess of a review, I do apologise, I'm going to give Kirin Ichiban a very solid 8 out of 10. Very impressed with that one. And yeah, if you've tried it, let me know your thoughts, opinions. If you have tried it in different parts of the world, feel free to let me know where it's brewed in your territory, that sort of thing. Things like that always interest me. And it'd be interesting to see what other beers Reinste Farm brew under contract. I love those sorts of little stories and relationships and business practices. And yeah, check out the website down below. Check out my Asian review playlist for more. And as always, if anybody I know has reviewed this beer, the links will be included in the description. And your feedback about the beer is always greatly appreciated, as is your viewership. So thank you guys for watching, and I shall hopefully see you in another video when I've actually got trousers on. Cheers.